My name is Elias Roa. I'm a 15-year-old freshman in the Seattle area, and this is QstR. Now, I like playing games face-to-face. You know who you are out there who played me today? I like playing games with my friends, except the only problem is homework. So this game, QstR, allows you to play games when you're changing classes throughout the day. This game was used using Toda blockchain, thanks to the support team over there. Sorry. Okay, so the game is point-based game. There's no really reward to the game. It's more for bragging rights with your friends. So these are my friends here, and I'm on the bottom. Leaderboards. So with the quest, it's all point-based. So gold coins are the least valuable, and then swords and weapons are the best. Let's go to locations. Locations here are examples of school area locations where QR codes can be put on the walls, on lockers, on pin boards, etc. Scan. So I'm going to scan these QR codes. So I got the flaming sword.
And the message that popped up is we're actually using the Toda blockchain to transfer ownership from the game world to the account that Elias is signed in as. And this is just a confirmation that the transaction was successful.
So this tells me that I got the flaming pink sword, 100 points. So let me go back.
Try to loot it again.
Okay, I got the loot bag. Transferred again, worth 10 points. Now let's scan it again. Let's go up here. Now I got attacked by the medieval turducken. I lost 50 points from that. So if I go back to the leaderboard, it tells me that I have 60 points now, and that you want the most points to brag to your friends. That is QstR.
Fantastic. You got 30 seconds.
Okay, so when we built this is what the app looked like yesterday. So Elias and Kenji worked out the app graphics and the notepad. We built it upstairs. And as part of this, I wrote a Toda Swift API that I'm actually making all the calls. So for example, this one that runs test account creation, this is my unit test for it. This is actually going to run, exercise the API, make the calls back and forth from Toda and create it. So I've open sourced the unit tests and the wrapper code on GitHub on my GitHub account. So my GitHub account is Humberto Roa, Humbertoroa. It's also probably in the notes from today. And if you go there, there's a project called Toda.Swift, and it has the unit tests and the wrapper library. And I implemented methods like create account, get all accounts, filter, paginate the accounts, create the files, do all the transactions. Tried to make the API super simple, so this is the interface the app developer is working with, and then behind the scenes there's the more complexity. Like this is in the library, so implementing methods like all the Swift error handling, the JSON parsing, and the ability to call back is all up on GitHub for exercising the API.
Fantastic. Amy?
Do you think you'll continue working on this after this weekend?
Yeah, he loves it. And the one feature, like Elias, if you had one more feature, what would you want?
Taunts.
The other thing you should check out is AR Kit and consider incorporating that.
Oh yeah, that's a great idea. It's a great idea. And this whole thing is running on the Toda blockchain. So what I'm doing is, or what we set up is that when you make a new game, we create a new game account. We seed that game account with items that have value, point value, names, the name of the images. And then as you interact with the game and you get ownership of these items, it has the metadata in there to retrieve the images and to show your point totals. And every time you start a new game, we can initialize it. Yeah, question?
Well, the Bonnaroo team would like to thank you, Elias, for consulting on our games. Thank you. You're a pro.
Nice. More questions? So this is starting in schools. Did you have any other
different markets or different applications of this type of framework?
Yeah, you know what would be great is personalized content. Just like on geocaching.com, you can buy a tracking bug. So we think it would be cool that you could go and generate your own customized items that when people take ownership at one place, they could drop them off at another place. And so you can see how your items circulate. And then it'd be cool if these points that he's acquiring could be spent at local businesses. So what if a local business set up the QR codes so that the kids could come and play, they build up the point totals, and they could apply them toward their purchase. So some kind of monetization like that.
Amazing. I just wanted to say I love the idea, I love the implementation, and I really love that you've made this open source library wrapping the Toda protocol in Swift. That's amazing. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. Thanks.
Okay, I have two ideas for you. One, live events. This would be absolutely gangbusters. South by Southwest is coming up, 250,000 people, and all the sponsors could actually buy little packs, and you print them their little QR codes, and then they do their own little scavenger hunt in one single game, but that would get 250,000 people playing at once, and there's a user base, right? And then corporate retreats. Like, because people do scavenger hunts, and they pay $5,000 to do a scavenger hunt, you just did it.
Yeah, with a real-time leaderboard.
Right.
So you know where you're standing all the time if you have to go, get
You're like 5 seconds away from a sending.
And so, just as one thing, really great to see. One thing I'm interested in as you go along, are there ways where you can take this gamified motivation and that activity is also helping something else to occur, right? Whether it happens to be physical activity and fitness is the goal, or there's something else. And I think because you are building on Toda and how you've architected the whole thing, the part that's nice is it can be done in a way where, yeah, there might be a second objective, but nobody's getting exploited, right? I mean, it's like the "Are you a robot" things, where it's like, okay, great, now I'm identifying street signs and other things for some other company, right? In this particular case, you got a chance to do something more impactful. This is awesome.
And the other part to this that we didn't actually get to implement fully in there is actually looking at Mimic in the M Gaming Studio. So you could actually, in essence, do a micro LAN party, but wirelessly across your group. So if you're off the edge, you actually can utilize it. We just didn't get enough time to put that into this as well.
We have a couple more questions here. Dan.
Just a request to add, at least on the iPhone, use core location, so maybe you don't actually have to scan something and just be somewhere.
Well, you know what I thought would be cool is to implement OpenCV and do like street signs and get the detection, so that when somebody shows up there, you could do like the number on the house or a logo in front of the business. So just use the image recognition to fingerprint that location that you can go up to. It would be kind of fun because you don't have to tell people where it is. They have to go around and discover what's the trigger.
I seem very calm, but right now inside I'm absolutely screaming and freaking out because every one of the questions that has been asked has been in my mind to ask, because this very thing I've been talking about with my friends and co-founders for like 10 years. I'm not even kidding. I'm not even joking. For 10 years we've been talking about this very thing, and I was going to pitch this, and you guys built it. The only piece that I could say is, which he was just going to mention, which is the secondary theme, is a suggestion I would make. We've got an election coming. And we had a bunch of people chasing Pokemon around at 7-Elevens and Starbucks.
Yeah.
I would think maybe you could put these digital breadcrumbs near voting places, polling places, and census taking, or demonstrations, or rallies, or phone banks, or things like that, latest civics. And if you're interested in that, please talk to me, because I have actually a team in place that'd be interested in helping you.
That'd be super cool, because you could show support. So instead of a leaderboard, you have a support list. And it'd be a way for even the people who are running these organizations to know, like, to turn out and get a sense of what's going on. It's an awesome idea.
And you could be teams like you are, even if you're not voting age, you're still helping people get to where they need to be and like driving whole group towards doing something for the community. So,
it's awesome.
Round of applause, huge round of applause.